Yanni McYonnerson over here.
Yeah, I know. It just suddenly came on me.
Sorry.
It's probably I need to put more light in my room.
Probably.
The one, it's just it's obviously the temperature of the color as well. I hate this warmer temperature lights. Like they're
What?
obviously probably better for you in this type of in obviously a bedroom because if you have it on night or at night, it probably helps you sleep better. You know, it's one of those light wave light things where bluer light helps you wake up and more red light helps you fall asleep type thing or helps you get into the mood to fall asleep. But yeah,
It's true.
sure.
That's why you gotta get one of
But
them
yeah,
LED controllable lights for your ceiling fan.
which I would love to do, but the problem is that the way that most of them or all the ones that I know about that that I know about, so like the hue lights, when you power them off and you turn them back on, they default to the last state that they were in. And obviously, if you power them off, you can't control them. So, in a situation like this, where it's an actual on-off outlet switch, uh, I would have to leave them on and then control them via app if I want them to not lose where they are, what position they currently are in, type of thing, or if I want to be able to control them automatically or whatnot. So I'd have to leave the switch on all the time, and I really don't want to do that.
Fair enough.
There are ways around that, but that would require me to install switches, which I would love to do, and technically I have done, but it's a rental property, and I really shouldn't be getting into electrical work on the rental property.
That's true.
So, because there is a company called Innovelli that makes switches that are specifically made to work with uh, smart lights. They even in the off position, they provide just enough power to the light so it doesn't disconnect from the network, so that it always stays technically on. It knows what it is in because ideally, when you say like you want a smart light and be able to control the temperatures of the light, uh, HomeKit has, and I'm sure others do as well, but has the ability to basically mimic the light temperature of the of like the sun at certain times of the day indoors. So it could be like, hey, in the morning the light temperature should be a little bit more reddish, and then as it goes out throughout the day, it turns more bluish, bluish white, and then it slowly starts to get more reddish light towards the end of the day. And I would absolutely love something like that, being able to walk into my room during the day, turn the light switch on, and it just be more of a blue white light. And then towards the evening, when you turn the light switch on, it's more of a orangish something light. Ideally, I would love to be able to do that, but I'd have to install those Innovelli switches, which would allow for that. So, yeah.
I get you. I get you.
But do you?
I do. I
Okay,
do.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you got this week?
I got a few things saved.
Let's jump into it.
Uh, let's see. This first one, apparently, it's not a real big talking point, but more wish Mike was here to talk about it because it's definitely something up his alley. But Ghost remake by Channing Tatum intrigues Demi Moore, but she has not been contacted about it. So apparently, there's a chance Channing Tatum is going to be remaking the 1990 Oscar-winning film Ghost. featured obviously Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, and Whoopi Goldberg. So not a whole lot of details on this article. I just saw it from, I think this is from Deadline. I was gonna say Variety, but apparently Demi Moore spoke to Entertainment Weekly about the potential remake. She said, "Look, every story is, in some ways, has already been told. The wonderful thing is the different ways things can be or reinterpreted." I said misinterpreted. Moore said, "I think there are some films that often are better left untouched and then sometimes there are wonderful surprises in reinterpretations." Tatum's not spoken to Moore about his plans. No, he hasn't, but added, "He's super talented, and I'm curious to see what he decides to do." I don't really think he needs to contact Demi Moore because I don't think she had anything other than just starring in it, and But I mean, it would be nice if someone reached out and said, "Hey, just so you know, this is our plan for this." But he doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to. In these instances, it might be nice to just have her make a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
Like in my head, as soon as you start talking about this, I'm like, okay, who are they going to get to play Whoopi Goldberg, Whoopi Goldberg's character? And then it immediately just dawns on me, why don't we just have Whoopi Goldberg play Whoopi Goldberg's character and just have her go, "Oh, Lord, not again? What the fuck?" It's a pseudo sequel to the first one where she's just like, "God fucking damn it,
I can't get away from it."
yeah." But yeah, okay. I mean, at least she's. I mean, I was gonna say at least she's okay with it, but it's like, yeah, it's not really like her property or anything,
Yeah.
But she has the. To me, she has the same thought that I would have, which is like, hey, if you can remake it but make it your own and do something cool with it, awesome. Yeah.
I agree.
It's not one of my favorite films, so I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm down to see this, but it's like, hey, if it happens to be on at some point in time and I'm at my parents' house and they're watching it, whatever. I don't care. I'll watch it. Channing Tatum is an interesting choice. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I like him in comedy stuff. Don't really watch too much of his more serious stuff that I can even think of, actually. So it'll be interesting to see how he is in it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really care for him as an actor, but that's interesting.
But is that just the thing we're doing right now? Is remaking Patrick Swayze movies?
I mean, I guess. I mean,
So we're at the start of it.
success of Roadhouse.
And before that, it was the Keanu Reeves movie,
Point Break.
Point Break. Yeah,
Yeah, well, we don't speak of that one.
yeah. That's why it took me a second to even think about it, because that's where it started. It started with Point Break.
Yeah, well,
And
that's a
now
good reason they took
Roadhouse.
there's a reason they took so many years off between that and the Roadhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Because they let's be nice and say missed the mark.
After this, what would be the next Patrick Swayze movie you would want remade?
Oh, they remade Footloose too, huh?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Yeah, yeah.
Or not Footloose. What's
Not
the one?
Footloose.
Footloose is Kevin
Footloose
Bacon.
was Kevin Bacon.
The one they did,
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. Yeah. So they remade that one. So maybe that's where it actually started. Did that come before Point Break? I think it did, right?
No, I think Point Break came first.
Was it? Gross.
I mean, we can look this up. I was looking at Patrick Swayze movies, but now I'm curious. Point. That's not how you spell break. Break. 1991 film. 1991 film. 2015 was the Point Break remake, and Dirty Dancing. I want to say Dirty Dancing. Was it two? Was it technically a sequel?
I don't think so.
when I searched it was okay. Dirty Dancing TV movie 2017.
Is that a TV movie?
According to IMDb, there was. Let's see what Dirty Dancing 2. When I was searching for it, there was a sequel that showed up. That one says 2004. That one had actually Patrick Swayze in it, it says. Was there a sequel to Dirty Dancing that I didn't know about? Dirty Dancing Havana Nights.
Yeah, I knew that one. That was like a...
That was 2004.
Yeah, that was like a reinterpretation. It was, well, not really. It was just like another... It was Dirty Dancing, but like in a different setting.
Yeah.
So it says the 2017 film was in December 2020 or 2015. ABC ordered a 3-hour musical remake of Dirty Dancing starring Abigail Breslin, Colt Pratt, Deborah Messing, blah blah blah. All these people. It aired May 24th, 2017, and received largely negative reviews. Yeah, I can imagine.
That was a TV thing. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, 2017. So technically, Point Break came out before.
Well, they definitely tried to get it going because it says they originally announced it in 2011. Oh no, that was going to be an actual remake. And then that fell apart apparently. And the miniseries version, Dirty Dancing, has been scheduled to be shot in Western North Carolina as of 2015. Never happened. So it would have been Dirty Dancing if they could have got it going, but it turned out to be Point Break.
I do like the when you go to the IMDb page for Patrick Swayze, it lists 4 movies that he's known for.
Yeah,
and it's Dirty Dancing, Ghost, Point Break, and Roadhouse. Literally all 4 movies that are being remade. Well, 3 of them have been remade.
I mean, if you really think about it though, those are his main movies that most people will remember him being in.
I guess that's true. I'm trying to go through more of his stuff right now because, like I said, I want to know like what could be the next one that is remade. He was in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
It says I played Jim Cunningham. I need to rewatch Donnie Darko. I think I've only seen like parts of it.
Patrick Swayze.
2003, 2000. Okay, 2006. That is a good point. Like Point Break. Man, after Point Break, like he does a lot of movies, but they're not really a lot of movies I remember watching.
Because like the other ones, like people who are like fans of his remember our thing, like he was in The Outsiders, but like also 40 other people were in The Outsiders, including Tom Cruise. So like it's hard to remember like saying it's his movie. But like Steel Dawn is one of his that obviously should be more recognized.
We forgot about Red Dawn.
Yeah, Red Dawn,
which got remade.
Yep, with the Chris Hemsworth and that whichever one is not fat anymore from Josh Drake. I don't remember what their names.
I barely even watched that show. I actually never watched that show.
Yeah, I've never watched either.
Know.
That's why I never can remember who's who.
It really does look like the height of his career was like mid to late 80s.
Oh yeah, for sure. Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything. Julie Newmar was
1991 was Point Break, and to me that was like the last movie that I remember of his. Even though he's done a movie almost every year since then, up to 2009, actually was 2009 was his last movie, Powder Blue.
Yep.
That's weird.
And then he had a few TV shows that he was like an episode in, but then he had that the Beast show, which was the last thing he did before he passed away. Mm-hmm. That was a good show. Unfortunately, only had like 1 season, so.
So this might kind of suck to say that like they after this they may have just remade all of his best movies.
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even like obviously like Dirty Dancing been made.
Yeah. Huh. All right.
Wrote yeah, because we got Dirty Dancing, Red Dawn, Point Break, yeah, Ghost. Yeah, I mean for the most
After
part, yeah.
Ghost, yeah, that's his last movie. That is one of his most iconic movies being remade.
Yeah, basically
Hmm.
because you're not really probably the thing with Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. You don't really need to remake it, and if anyone does, that's it's fucking stupid. But uh, that's his next biggest one after that, where it's like I would say it's his movie. Because yeah, he's been in a lot of these ones, but I don't think he's ever been. I don't think he was like the star of any of these movies.
I don't think I've ever seen Tu Wong Fu.
With Wesley Snipes and John Leguizamo as drag queens.
No, it doesn't look familiar at all.
It's a great movie.
Fair enough.
It's a movie that was more of a shock to be made than I think most people remember, because you have these three very masculine, essentially like people looked them as like like big stars at the time. John Leguizamo was more of like a upcoming comedic actor, but he was in a handful of things. And then they come out in this movie, and two of them who are manly butch dudes, Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze, come out in drag outfits, and you're like, okay. But it's a really good movie, and it should be watched by many people. For just other than the fact being it's just a really good movie and well
Okay.
acted movie. Anywho, so that was it for about the. I just thought it was interesting that Channing Tatum is remaking Ghost, and for some reason people think that Demi Moore would say no, maybe, or like,
Yeah.
nah, I want to be in it. But I mean, she could be in it, not like maybe not starring. I mean, she could star. I
No.
mean, could just be
Yeah,
in
again, just like ask her,
older
hey, you
version.
want to be make a cameo? Like
Yeah.
whatever. Doesn't
Maybe
even have
maybe
to, but again,
maybe
yeah, it's
like
not.
it's like she gets a call from Whoopi Goldberg saying, "Hey, it's happening again," and they're like,
I think that'd
"Oh,"
be hilarious.
and they strap on their proton packs and head up. Wait, no,
No,
I think I'm thinking of the wrong Ghost movie.
you're crossing the films.
Crossing the Streams.
Yeah.
So the other story I had, I guess I only had two saved. I thought I had more.
Yeah, that's about how much I have too.
So James Gunn posted for the first time about something non-Superman related in the DCU series, and it is about lanterns. And he wanted to welcome writers Damon Lindelof, Chris Mundy, and Tom King among the writers for the series. And he wanted to give them an official welcome into the fold of his ever-growing DCU. I was gonna say DC Universe, but that's like pen number. And basically saying that they basically says yes, it's true. The Lanterns DCU series is putting together a crack team of writers based on a wonderful script in Bible by Chris Mundy, Tom King, and Damon Lindelof. Gunn shared a Instagram to Instagram as well as Threads. A hearty welcome to Chris and Damon Lindelof as they join the DC Studios family. No welcome necessary to our old friend Tom King. Thank you, who has been here nearly since inception, because he has been working with them for quite a long time with this stuff, including obviously the Supergirl stuff, because it's based on his book. And then it goes on to talk about where they come from, and the fact that like Lindelof has worked on DC projects already with the Watchmen TV show or limited series, as it's known, because he did do that one, as well as other many great things. And then Chris Mundy, for the people who don't know, and probably Joe included, was one of the writers. I think he was the creator of Ozark too. Might not be creator. Hold on, let me see if I pull it up here. But he's written on a lot of different things. Criminal Minds is one of them. He wrote a bunch of episodes of that, I think. Yeah, he wrote Ozark, which is an amazing TV show on Netflix if you've never watched it. He worked on Low Winter's Son with Mark Strong. He's worked on Criminal Minds, like I said, True Detective, multiple episodes and multiple seasons, I think, of that show. The Netflix, another great Netflix show, Bloodline. Where he worked on that one. Cold Case, Line Under Fire. So basically, a lot of like procedural and like criminal type shows, which is what they're going for in this, because Lanterns is going to be basically a kind of like a Law and Order but in space. So that's pretty cool. And then the image that that James Gunn shared has Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart featured in it, which because they're kind of going that way. And then obviously we have Guy Gardner being played by Nathan Fillion in the Superman movie, who will hopefully transition over to this as well, just as another Lantern. But yeah, so it's pretty stacked writing group for this, and it's very interesting because Damon Lindelof has a very heavy influence from comic books, and then obviously Tom King is a master of his craft in the comic book world, and then Chris is huge into, as I said before, criminal and procedural or crime procedural type shows, being the and pretty gritty ones too, because like Ozark and True Detective are pretty gnarly. So it'd be interesting to see how they make this work, or how they do it with this particular show. But they started development in 2023. Yeah, so. And I think, let me see if it's in here. Greg Berlanti of Arrow fame is tied to it as well. Maybe not this project. Maybe it was tied to the original one. I don't remember. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. I think that they have some pretty well-rounded folks attached to it. But yeah, that's about all I had for those stories. Like I said, I thought I had more. I checked my phone too, and they're not there. So I don't know if I didn't save them. Let's look at this Yeo history while Joe brings up his, or if he has anything else to say about this.
No, I don't have anything else to say. But I was looking at mine. I was like realizing that we actually went over some of this last week, because I thought I pulled one article that I thought gave more information about, because we talked last week we talked about the Stephen King property Monkey.
Yep.
Right? I thought this article had more information on it, because it says from Inverse, Stephen King's unexpected new thriller takes a major step towards release, but I'm realizing that we already talked about all this stuff.
Oh, speaking of Stephen King, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Max is getting ready to release the new remake of Salem's Lot sometime this year. I'm going to guess it's in October. Because it was announced, not actually, wasn't officially announced. It was sent out via an internal memo to people who are involved in it that there's a release set for 2024. But the reason why it was released that way is because they are doing a theatrical release for it, but only in the UK and Ireland.
Really?
Yeah. So that's fucking dumb. But it's Gary Doberman who wrote and directed it. Wrote on like It Chapter 1 and 2, amongst many other things. But those are the other Stephen King projects that he's worked on. I think there's one other one I'm not remembering, but I can look it up. I'm not going to. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, that's cool, but also kind of shitty. Because why does UK and Ireland get a theatrical release in October, but we just get it on Max?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, I'm kind of okay with it at the same time because going to the movies lately has been,
terrible.
I was going to say, feels more like a chore than it used to be in the past, where it
Yeah.
felt more like an adventure. Uh, so I'm kind of okay
Oh,
with
I'm right there with you.
just being able to sit at home and watch it from the comfort of my own home theater system and whatnot. But it is still kind of weird that you would split it up like that. I don't know why.
Yeah. I was
Must have
like,
been it probably more than likely just boils down to they probably already had like pre-agreements with HBO for like, hey, you have to do so many things, but they have to come out on Max first before anything else. But then, of course, in the rest of the world, since they don't have those same agreements, it more than likely is just like, yeah, we'll release it in theaters in the rest of the world. And by the rest of the world, I mean those two places that you mentioned,
UK and Ireland.
UK and Ireland, which are still part of the British Isles or whatever it is.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. So I wonder then where does it fall within the rest of the actual world? You know, is is it just those two places that are going to be able to get it done in theaters, and then Europe gets it in Max, US gets it in Max? I wonder where it falls in the rest of the
It's
world.
just weird to me because like I get it. There's a lot of money you have to put into like putting it in theaters, but like why those two regions? Like why do those two get theatrical release for that movie
Yeah, what is
versus
the decision behind it?
yeah like you just don't
If
have
you're
anywhere
already
else?
doing it on digital, you know that that shit is just going to hit the piracy right away.
Yeah.
Just release it on digital everywhere. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Someone had a reasoning somewhere. Hmm.
Sure. Sure. Dummies.
Well, considering that the last two articles that I had, the only two articles that I had saved, one of them being about Monkey, I thought it had more information about it, but it really doesn't than what we talked about last week. The only other thing I have is talking more about The Witcher, uh, which was the other article talking about the recasting of Henry Cavill, but we actually got a trailer for that Witcher this past week.
Yeah.
Um, I will say this: uh, the trailer doesn't give a whole lot. If I recall right, it's mostly just panning through like a dark and spooky forest
Yeah, it's
up
more of
to
a
a
tease
character
than
that
anything else.
more of the tease than anything else. And you're panning up towards a character with a horse, and you're like, that's Geralt. Obviously, you can see the sword and whatnot, and then as it ends, it's Liam Helmsworth looking over his shoulder, and you get a glimpse of what he looks like as Geralt. Uh, I I don't. The look isn't bad, at least from what we can from what we can see. And I will. It may be a controversial take. As much as I loved Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, the image of him that I get when I've read all the stories and played, well, just the Wild Hunt, is Geralt isn't this like big buff dude. He's more of a agile, uh, strong, but not buff swordsman.
He's more lean.
He's more lean. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, he's more lean. So at least to see Liam Helmsworth in a role, he kind of actually does have a good look to him as Geralt. I will admit that.
Yeah,
Uh,
he definitely looks closer to what he did in like Witcher 1 and 2. Cuz in Witcher 3 the Wild Hunt I almost said Blood Hunt. That's a Hellboy book. Right? Blood Hunt? I think so.
no,
No, that's a
it's
Marvel. That's a Spider-Man crossover book in Marvel Comics right now. It's about vampires.
because they did the Wild Hunt also
Yeah,
in
the Wild Hunt.
Hellboy series,
Yeah, and they actually made it in part of the fucking
the Witcher
tremendously
series as well.
terrible movie they made with dude from Stranger Things. Anyhow,
Was it in that one?
yeah, they
I
used
never actually watched that one, so
so that movie's made up of three different plots from three different stories, which is what made
oh
me so mad about it because they're like, we're gonna stick to the comics, but they just like literally stick to three different comics.
It's like, but just stick to one and just make
Yeah,
it good.
dude, bro, that's all you have to do. Like, if you don't want to do his origin, then don't do his origin. Just pick one of the fucking 900 stories that Mike Mignola did for that fucking character,
Yeah.
and you have a movie.
Anyway,
Anyhow, he does look a lot more closer body style because he is a leaner kid than Henry did. I still don't think. I mean, with I know how your brain worked when you did, because the only visual context you have for what Geralt looked like was from Witcher 3, which
yes.
he's thinner, but he's also older, so like that doesn't lean obviously to the Liam version because he doesn't have like a graying beard and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
he does fit. He does look very good in it. And they obviously, after the third season, 3 seasons of Henry Cavill, they've nailed the wig making down, because the first season was a little bit rough on the wigging. But season 2 and 3 were tremendously done with the wigs. It looked very natural. Way more natural than the first season did. And this one looks very much akin to that. So obviously they learned their lessons, which they didn't learn on Jupiter's Legacy, but that's a different story.
Right.
But yeah, so I get how your brain would think that he does, and I agree. I completely agree. He looks very much like a Geralt, and I kind of wish they would have had him from the beginning, so we didn't get like this such a disparaging look difference between season 1 and 2, or season 3 and 4, because like with this, you still have all the other characters being played
Right.
by the same actors, and now you have someone who's arguably a
Vastly different
size.
body type. Yeah.
And it's like, if you want continuity, you watch those first ones, and then all of a sudden you see this change, and it's just like, bro, that's weird to me. And it sucks because like we probably just should have just ended the show at that point. But
I mean, you should. We've already talked about this, but the problem is that you changed your main character, and then you came out and were like, "Oh, we're just going to do 2 more seasons." It's like I get things were probably rough, but if you're going to just do 2 more seasons, why don't you just stick it out for 2 more seasons with Henry, if that's what you're going to do? You know,
yeah,
I mean, maybe there were worse things behind the scenes than anything, but like, you just had 2 more seasons left. If that's what you knew that you were going to do, then just make those 2 more seasons and be done with it with Henry. Not
Yeah.
bring on a new actor, which again we speculate they're not even going to address his change. They're just going to be like, "Yeah, this is Geralt. This has always been Geralt."
we don't know what you're talking about. This is
yeah,
it's we like, he doesn't have bangs anymore. Like, what? That's not how this works.
yeah. You're gonna have him stand next to characters and that he doesn't, dwarf in width,
Which is one of the reasons I kind of liked Henry Cavill in the role, because he was so big that like he was intimidating to look at, but also like just spooky in general, because like the Witchers always look a little fucking creepy because like
Yes.
the pale skin and the dull eyes and blah blah blah, right? But like he's a pretty big dude, like stature wise. Now he's not fucking like strongman yoked, but like he's a big dude, and when you put armor on him and you get him a big ass sword and you put him on a fucking horse, you're like, you know what? I kind of don't want to fucks with this guy, because like
yeah,
that's terrifying.
uh-huh.
Let's like, hey, like I'm gonna rethink this whole being a monster thing. I'm gonna just slink back in the shadows here. I'm just gonna chill. No more eating babies. No more terrorizing pumpkin patches. I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be. It's one of the stories. There was a thing with the pumpkins, and it doesn't matter.
I know, but it sounds like just right on the nose Halloweeny. That's
Yeah, no,
Halloweeny.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna go back here. I'm just gonna eat small wooded creatures. No pets, no nothing like that. You good, boss? Like, go ahead and do your thing. I heard there's a swamp monster you could kill. That dude's a dick. Go for it, bro. You know what I mean? But you see him, you're like, oh, he don't look that scary. And he pulls out the sword, like, menacing, yo. And then he does like the thing with the like, I'm gonna drink this elixir, and then my eyes are gonna glow, and then I'm gonna be like, real fast, and you can't see me coming. I'm like, oh shit, too late, dead. You know what I mean? And I'm the next corpse being drugged into town on Roach's back.
Right.
I'm just saying. But I actually do like the look of it. I just think it's shitty to do. To already having 3 whole seasons with a completely different person playing the character. You just needed to continue on, which I just can't imagine it being that terrible to work with Henry Cavill, because like why haven't you heard about this anywhere else? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even
Right.
if he's like just like he's just being a menace about like trying to be as accurate as he can to the source material, that just seems more of like, hey, he cares about the project
Yeah.
than like, you know, it's not he's Christian Bailing and like just fucking going ape shit on fucking lighting guys,
Right.
you know, or whatever, or throwing fucking phones Russell Crowe style.
Right.
You know, he's probably just fucking passionate about it, and he's like, why are we changing these things, or why are we doing this? And we may never know the real truth, but it just like it couldn't have been that fucking terrible to work with him.
No, I don't think it could have been.
Like, I'm pretty
You would
sure
think
he's
that
done.
other, yeah, to your point, you would think that other movies and series and stuff that he's done, it would come out more that like, oh, Henry Cavill's a complete dick.
Yeah,
When all you just hear is actually he's just a complete nerd.
yeah. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. Honestly, that is the only thing that I had to talk about. I think there's been some more stuff that you pasted or posted this past week in the chat, and I'm trying to remember what they were.
Well,
New Beetlejuice trailer, which I honestly haven't watched yet because when did you post it?
2 days ago.
What day was it? It was 2 days ago. Yeah, I think when I was at work and I forgot to watch it. Then
The only thing I sent, so I sent the Witcher one, sent a bunch of
Axel
Lego
Foley
stuff.
one.
The Axel Foley, or Axel F.
Axel F. Sorry,
Morgan Spurlock died.
passed away. Yeah.
SummerSlam is now going to be 2 nights versus 1 night in 2026, and probably going forward if it does well. Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, is coming out this year. It's a 10-part miniseries.
I didn't go through that article. Who's writing it and
it's Jeff Loeb, sir.
Oh, Jeff Loeb.
Oh,
is coming back for it?
Yeah, bud. Yeah, so not only is it Jeff Loeb, but Tim Sale is coming back, I believe, to do all of the art, if I'm not mistaken. And they'll be joined by artist Eduardo Rizzo of 100 Bullets and Detective Comics: The Batman Who Laughs, Dave Stewart and Richard Shankings, who are doing art and covers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Jeff Loeb is doing the 10-part mystery spin-off out of the events of the 2021 Batman: The Long Halloween special. And we'll see Loeb joined by a number of artists, because Tim Sale passed away. And they are Eduardo Rizzo, Dave Stewart, and Richard Shankling, with other artists in the future to be told to us. Klaus Johnson is in there. There's a bunch listed there. But yeah,
I'm digging these covers.
Yeah, they're dope. Yeah.
Especially the Batman one where he just looks pissed and he's ripping it in the like the police. I don't even know what they call those little police slates that you hold during your mugshot.
Yeah, which is weird. They're doing a mugshot of him in the cowl. Like, it's
right?
Like, bro,
It's
how you gonna
like
get an accurate
ripping,
measurement?
yeah.
He's got an extra, like, if it's Tim Sale style, another like 8 to 10 inches of cowl.
Just
sticking
cowl.
up,
I know
you know what I
it
mean?
does go off the map here. Like maybe the top of the cowl is like 6'5", something like that. But those ears just go past the image. It's funny because it almost looks like Cobblepot is like 4'6" here.
Yeah, which is awesome.
The Riddler is like 5 foot something, and that's the only other images that they have. It just means like Batman just fucking towers over these people.
Which is, again, right down the whole thing. Like, you got a guy who's big enough, especially like this Batman, who's like, he's been at it for so long, he's just yoked to the fucking gills, ready to punch a motherfucker, but not kill him, but punch him hard enough to make him rethink his life choices.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
maybe even forget life choices.
Maybe forget what he did. He's like, who am I again? Who gave me the name Penguin? I chose that. Me.
Who was the Penguin?
That's a terrible name. Oh my god, look at my nose. Yeah, so that was cool. I thought that was pretty rad. I messaged Ken about it. I was like, bro, I'm gonna need these.
Right, I'm gonna need these too.
I just fear there's gonna be like 94 covers per every issue, and I'm like, I don't need to collect fucking 400 issues of this fucking thing when there's only 10 issues. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say because they obviously showed Batman the Penguin and the Riddler there, and I was like, oh, are those just variants of the first issue? But at least it does list issue 1, 2, and 3. So
Yeah.
Batman was 1, Penguin is 2, Riddler's 3. So yeah, exactly that point. Like I hope they don't sit there and just go like, here's 10 different variant covers, and it's like, oh, and those are just the ones that are just like normal variants, not on the like more rare variants as well.
Because I
Yeah.
know that at least there's one variant of issue 1, because the first image on comicbook.com's article says it's issue 1 of 10, and then if you go look at the mugshot ones, that's also the one with Batman is 1 of 10, and then
Oh
you have
yeah, good. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
so like I know that at least there's a you know there's
there's
at
gonna be
least
like a
one.
weird normal cover, like the first image here, which is more like the Long Halloween,
Yeah.
the classic Long Halloween that we see. But yeah, it looks like maybe then the variant covers, the normal, like maybe B covers or whatever it is, are going to be like mugshot covers.
So yeah, I was like, all right, well, hopefully there's like not 40 per fucking
Yeah,
issue, because I don't need 400 copies of this fucking book.
no, you
Um,
will, but you don't. Don't tell my wallet that.
Don't tell my
It's going
bank
to start
account that, man.
crying.
Fuck, dude. Um, I what else? I sent the they announced the actor playing a character named Polly in the Reacher season 3, and it's a real good fit
I hope
because
so.
the
I haven't actually
character.
finished. I haven't actually started watching season. No, wait, did I watch season? I started watching season 2 of Preacher. I haven't finished it.
Joe, you need to fucking get on your game, bro.
Look, man,
Look, man, I'm busy.
I don't have any other answer beyond
Yeah,
that.
I know you don't. So that's all I think I shared, other than
There's
the
a couple more.
Deadpool
You had the
stuff.
Beetlejuice one, like I said. Axel Foley. There's one more. Where was it? The WandaVision sequel.
Taj sent that actually.
Oh, Taj sent that? No, Taj
Yeah,
did send that. Uh, yeah, not looking forward to it.
yeah. I don't really. It didn't really. I was like, all right, cool. Doesn't make or break anything in my day.
Nah.
Um. So yeah. So they the dude they got to play Polly, for anybody who's read the Persuader, which is it's like the ninth book or some shit like that in the Reacher series, because they're not like in any kind of order, which is fucking maddening to me. But anyways, there's a character in it named Polly who's a giant motherfucker who's just roided out like crazy, and he is definitely a huge roadblock, literally, for Reacher in the story, because he's so roided out that he doesn't really have weaknesses other than the fact he's really big. So like at one point, Reacher is in a fight with him, and he repeatedly punches him in the dick, and it doesn't cripple him because his fucking junk's all destroyed from being all roided out.
Oh, we're literally talking roid rage.
Yeah,
Oh,
like literally,
okay.
like yeah, like so it's not like oh, he's a big dude. Like he's like in this fight, Reacher is repeatedly full on Reacher punching him in the junk, and he just laughs at him. He's like bah, and just throws Reacher. So it tells you how big this motherfucker is.
And literally roided out.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, so
Okay.
And this motherfucker they got to play him is known as the Australian or Dutch giant. Yeah, Dutch giant. His name is it's on here somewhere. I can't see where his name is. Something rich. Oh my god, where's it at? Anywho, he's a big motherfucker. Fan favorite, bad way playing by Oliver Richards. Well, that's weird. Because his name is very close to Alan Richardson.
Right.
Yeah, he's 7'2".
Damn.
If you go to that article, it's up rocks. You see him scratching out Reacher on a trailer and writing in Polly,
Yeah.
and then above that is a video of him as giant Kratos from an Amsterdam Comic Con of some sort or something like that, and he's just a massive human being in general. I mean, there's a reason they call him the Dutch giant. Like Dutch people are pretty tall in general, right? Like it's known, like
Sure.
you know, but like this motherfucker's 7'2" and he is jacked. And I was like, oh, nailed it. I didn't know who he was before this post. Then I looked it up and I was like, that dude's legit terrifying looking. And I watched this video and he's just stomping through this fucking crowd. And you're like, bro, you are. Yikes. You know what I mean? Like, that's not. That, like, holy shit, that's a big dude.
The average height of a Dutch man is over 6 feet tall.
See, told you. Tall motherfuckers.
The average, whereas the average American is 5'9".
Boom. That's right. Average is a motherfucker. I'm technically 5'10".
I'm 6'5", so
go fuck yourself.
Out.
Anyhow, so what's crazy about this is like they nailed it again, because like so far there are disparities in like the storytelling, and not in a bad way. I think they did an amazing job changing what they did in the first two seasons versus the book, because they add a lot of depth and character to it. In the first season, they did eliminate a couple characters that didn't really need to be in there, but also would have been nice to see, but like it didn't matter, right? In the second one, they added characters versus took away characters, and again added to the story of it and made it a little more robust and more depth to it. This one, there are new characters in it, but there's nobody in Reacher's like past that is a full-on solo Reacher story. Like, he doesn't have Neely. Now maybe they change it for this one. Maybe Neely does have something to do with it, but the way that Alan was talking about it when they announced it is like I don't think they do have Neely in this. Maybe, I don't know how it's working. But this one, it's like, at first you're like, oh, what's going on with this? Because you're like, you're not like let into like the actual story just yet, and then that retells part of it, and you're like, oh, this makes way more sense, because like Reacher kills motherfuckers at the beginning, and he basically like saves this kid but kills a couple cops. You're like, what's happening? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
But then you get told what's happening, and you're like, oh,
it makes more sense.
Okay. All right. I get you. I get what you're doing here. But yeah, I thought that was pretty nifty, neato. Great casting for a tremendously casted show already. I'll read that story later, because that really has to do with me liking stuff more than anything else.
Okay.
It's about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And clarifies rumors about Donald Glover and Maya Erskine, I believe is how you say her last name. Their exit to the show, so I have to read it and see what they're talking about, and I don't have time. Oh, hell no. Okay, no. Okay, I thought they were redoing The Brave Little Toaster. I was like, you're not going to make me cry again. I think that was all I really saw today. I was reading some news this morning, but nothing was like standing out to me other than the fact that apparently Furiosa and Garfield are tied for a disappointing Memorial Day weekend.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I was hoping Furiosa would do better.
See, the problem with this is my problem with Furiosa.
Okay, what's your problem?
I don't really care too much about the character. Like, I remember liking her, like Charlize Theron, right? But like, when I watched the trailer for this, and I was like, it's not Mad Max. I want a Mad Max movie. Like, I'm a big fan of Mad Max.
Yeah.
So then I watched the first one, then I watched the second one. I was like, all right, it seems cool, but it's like, it seems like a little, like we already know what happens. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the whole Black Widow movie.
Yeah, because this is a prequel to what we already saw.
Yeah, so I get it. Cool. Where it's her origin, and like Chris Hemsworth is gonna be chewing up scenery with his weird fake nose and whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like I kind of don't care enough. But it's a George Miller movie, so you know it's gonna be like bonkers or whatever.
And that's mainly what I'm in for. Like, like I don't know. Like I get like to your what you're saying. I do like Charlize Theron. I did like Furiosa in Mad Max Furiosa Road.
Fury Road, you mean?
Fury Road. Sorry,
Furiosa Road.
Road. Yeah. Uh, to say that I would want to have a prequel to just understand her origins was like, okay, whatever. Like if they do make one, whatever. But I'm mostly in it. Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I am mostly in it just for more of the visuals of Mad Max Fury Road. That's what I want to see. So as long as they deliver on that, that's all I want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just like I'm down for the ridiculousness and the action and like the fact that like they build these fucking real vehicles to like wreck them and fucking set the Australian outback on fire and shit. That's fucking dope. I just don't know if I care enough about Furiosa or any other character other than Mad Max. But like I'm down to see it, but it's like one of those ones where like I'm gonna watch it when it comes out on streaming.
Yeah, definitely. Again, this goes back to the whole fact it just seems not very easy now or really enjoyable to go to movies, which is one reason why I never even went to see the Ghostbusters movie sequel.
Same, like
in theaters. I was literally about to just go straight buy that movie when it came out on digital. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and then it turns out it's $24 on what was it? It's like $20 to stream it, $24 to buy it. And I'm just like, I'll wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, it'll pop up on like Netflix or some shit in no time.
Well, hopefully Max, because I don't have Netflix right now. But yeah.
Well, it's a Sony property, so it's definitely not gonna hit Max.
Damn it.
You may get it on Amazon before you get it on Max, though.
Well, there we go. I'll watch it on Amazon.
Actually, I wonder where the Afterlife went.
I couldn't tell you. I actually own Afterlife on Blu-ray, so I own the digital copy of it. So I've never looked into where it streams from.
Because it's a Sony one, so they don't really have a streaming service because they keep fucking them up. But I know they made a deal, and they're very, very popular with Amazon. I wonder where Afterlife first popped up at.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, maybe it was on Max at one point. Oh no, maybe it was on.
I'm looking to see at least where you can get it from right now. So, obviously, what you're talking about is when it came out. I can't answer that, but at least right now, obviously, you can get it on Apple TV to buy. You can get it on Hulu right now, and then FX Now.
Yeah, Hulu. It makes sense. Because Hulu's a bunch of random shit, and they do have Sony stuff on there. Oh, and just in case anybody listening and Joe wants to watch Madam Web, it's on Netflix now.
Don't have Netflix again, so I don't care. But I don't really want to.
Yeah, no, don't blame you. That was that. I think that's all I had. I really want to watch that movie, Atlantis, but I don't want to watch it because it has Jennifer Lopez and she's a terrible actress. I keep seeing clips.
The movie where she's like rage driving some car.
No, it's a futuristic movie.
No, sorry, not car, like a mech.
Yeah, she's a mech pilot of some sort that like doesn't like AI because like that's the whole fucking thing of how we write sci-fi now is someone doesn't like AI and it turns out AI is not that bad. I keep seeing clips from it. It looks cool as shit, and then you see her and she starts acting, and I'm like, okay. I don't think I care to. I mean, I'll watch it maybe because it's on Netflix and I'll have to pay for it. But it's like it's got Simu Liu in it, and I like that kid, and he's a villain, and he has a sword hand apparently, like a sword comes out of his hand.
Oh, full on Deadpool.
Yeah, like I was like, that's cool. Like I don't know how it works. I don't know. I just see like the little clip of it, and I was like, that looks super painful. But I don't think he's real human, so like it's okay. But I was like, dang, that looks cool, and then the mech looks pretty cool, and this and like the CGI looks pretty dope, and then you see her and you're like, why her? We have so many good actresses that could be in this. That's not Jennifer Lopez. Like
I don't know, man.
Charlize Theron comes to mind. I mean,
Yeah.
what's her face from Watchmen? I was gonna say Alfre. That's the other chick. What's the lady from
You're talking
Watchmen?
about the one that played Silk Spectre?
No. From the
No?
TV show Watchmen. What's her
Oh,
name?
TV show Watchmen. Yeah, what is her name? I don't remember.
Oh my god, spacing. Not Viola Davis because that's the chick from Suicide Squad. I can't. I'm trying to think of like slightly older actresses, that fit in the same age range. Not that she looks old in this movie. You know what I mean? It's like just like because I think she's supposed to be older or something. I don't know. Again, I don't know the whole story from behind it, but what is her name?
Regina King?
Regina King. That's the one. I was gonna say from the credit card commercials.
Does she do credit card commercials?
She did Capital One commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Might be Capital One commercials.
But yeah, she was a good pick for the Watchmen. So yeah, I like her.
Yeah, I would dig her, and I like pretty much everything I've seen her in. Not that I could spout it off right now because I couldn't remember her fucking name, but
Right.
I don't know. It makes me mad because it's like you have all these big projects, like, and don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Anna Taylor-Joy. Is that her name?
That is a name of an actress, yes.
From Furiosa, right? The one that plays
I
Furiosa.
believe so.
Yeah. Okay. I actually dig her. She's very charismatic and she's a really good actress. But I don't know if I care enough about Furiosa's origin. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I watch it, I'm like, oh, this is fucking dope. But it just makes me mad we're not getting another Mad Max movie after like the awesomeness that was Fury Road. Like
Because
George
you
Miller's
want
like
to see, more of what
Tom Hardy.
I'm spacing on Tom Hardy's name. Yeah, it could do as Max. Yeah.
But like George is like, nah, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, that's cool, George, but you took this long to make a prequel to a character that we kind of know what happens to them already, but we don't know what happened to the person we care about from the other movies that you made.
Yeah, go make a Max movie now. But unfortunately, it seems like he wants to just do a Thor movie after making this.
Whatever, man. I don't know. Whatever. Do your thing. I'm just saying. I really wish.
I get you're saying that what you want next is a Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
We are 3 weeks away from season 4 of The Boys, I believe.
is it 3 weeks?
I think so. I'd have to look at the date again, but I want to say it's like the 12th, 13th, 14th, something like that. I don't remember. The Boys season Quattro. I don't know how to type. 13th. I knew somewhere on there.
June 13th.
So many weeks is that?
It's like 3.
3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. Gotcha. Which probably means we're actually gonna get it. Oh god damn it! I'm like, just realized I don't have the fucking weekend to watch it. I don't. It's weekly though, right? They're not dumping the whole season right away,
It's
right?
2 weeks. 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away.
Because we're on May 30th.
Oh
So
yes,
it'll be 2 weeks away.
Okay, yeah. So the end of this week is the beginning of June. Okay, yeah. So whatever, 2 weeks away. I'm just saying, like, can I just have all of it right away? Like, I don't want to have to wait.
Well, they'll probably do what everybody does, which is give us at least the first 2-3 episodes.
Yeah, but then that makes me even more mad because then I get to binge watch 2 episodes and then not be able to watch another one until the week after, and then have to wait another week for that one, and then wait another week. It's like I know, like, I get like this the binge watch blues after I watch something I really enjoy and then can't watch the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, for example, fantastic show. They dumped the whole season right away.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're not going to do this because they know people want to watch it, so it's going to keep people
Engaged.
subscribed.
It keeps them bringing back every week. Yeah.
I get it. I understand that's a business model, but you got me so used to being able to binge watch stuff. Where like I watch the first episode, and if I don't like which with season 4, and obviously I'm gonna continue watching, but like season 1 and stuff, like if I don't like the first episode, I'm not gonna continue watching it.
Mm-hmm.
In my soul and in my brain, it kind of hurts me because like maybe it gets better, but like the first episode wasn't great. But like in a way, like if I have to wait to see an episode 2, I'm probably not gonna watch it. But if I can binge watch it and then watch episode 2, and maybe it's better, I'll continue watching. But like if I'm waiting week to week, I'm like, it's not that important. I'm not gonna watch.
Yeah, but that's why they give you the first like 2-3 episodes.
I know they give you that little taste of heroin, so you
get the
come
little
back.
taste. You can see how it evolves over those episodes and see if it does get better.
Rub it into your gums.
Exactly, and then if you do like it, you can keep coming back weekly. If you don't like it, you don't have to.
Yeah, fuck them.
I mean, personally, I don't mind doing the week-to-week stuff because that just ends up being how I watch things anyway. I will.
Yeah, months later.
Again, yeah.
Boom, got him. Suck it, man.
But at the same time, I generally only will watch 1 or 2 episodes and then, wait another day or two or a week to watch the next few episodes. So I'm okay with doing week to week. It feels like less of a commitment, even if I don't watch it right away.
What the fuck? 4 girls stabbed at AMC theater in Massachusetts. Suspect arrested. The fuck? It's another reason not to go to goddamn movie theaters. Getting fucking stabbed for no reason? What movie were they watching? They didn't tell me in this article. A man has been arrested for allegedly stabbing 4 girls in an AMC movie theater south of Boston Saturday. Authorities said police said that entered the Braintree multiplex around 6 p.m. without a ticket. Went into a. How did he get in without a ticket?
Well, it might not be one of those places that. Well, I mean, you can just get in.
Yeah, but he walked into the theater.
Well, did he walk into the actual theater or did he walk into the theater?
No, it says walked into a theater.
Yeah, but I suppose that's the colloquialism that I'm asking about. Like if I say, I'm in the theater, if we're meeting and I say I'm in the theater.
No, listen to the sentence. Police said the man entered the Braintree multiplex around 6 p.m. without a ticket, went into a theater, which means he went into the actual multiplex.
Okay.
And then went into a theater, Joe. It's the words. You have to listen to all of them.
Well, I am listening to all of them, but I'm asking you literally what is that colloquialism that people refer to?
Yeah, people say theater.
You go to the theater, are you talking about the actual room that the place that is in, that the projector is actually projecting into, or are you talking about the whole thing as the theater?
What the fuck? This is a weird ass fucking story in general. So none of the girls had life threatening injuries apparently. So good for them. That's great to hear. I mean, it's terrible to hear, but it's good to hear they're not life threatening. Then he was. CBS Boston reports that the same suspect may be responsible for a similar incident later at a McDonald's restaurant in nearby Plymouth. Jesus, what is this guy? A fucking serial stabber?
Kind of sounds like it. Sounds like there's something wrong there.
There's a bunch of stuff. It didn't say what movie they were seeing. I don't think it actually matters because it looks like he just randomly walked into a theater and went stabby. How do you get 4 people? How busy was this theater? Also, why? Anyways, that was a weird little thing that popped up just now.
Very is a weird little thing that just popped up.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll wrap it up with that. This has been this week's episode of Comes Naturally. We have been
Joe.
I have been Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Bye.